Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys and girls are doing good. It's a big one, man. This is 30 minutes, mate. So very much a deep dive into the new Call of Duty, aka Vanguard. This is the multiplayer reveal. You guys know I love Call of Duty so much, and I hope we get something Warzone related. That'd be awesome. Let's waste no time. Let's check this bad boy out. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to the channel, back the nerd life, you know what to do, man. Go. 28 minutes of goodness. Come on.
The time is finally here. Yes. Welcome to the multiplayer reveal for Call of Duty Vanguard. I'm Greg Reisdorf, the multiplayer creative director at Sledgehammer Games.
Man like Greg.
At reveal, we saw the rise of Special Forces team, and now we've had our first technical test of Vanguard out in the wild, the Champion Hill Alpha.
Yeah, man.
Our team is hyper-focused on key data points coming out of that test, and thank you for all the valuable feedback.
Today, we will show you our vision of the multiplayer experience for Call of Duty Vanguard. On our last project, we brought the Brotherhood of World War II soldiers to life in a more traditional approach, which was a great experience. For Vanguard, we're taking liberties and risks to deliver something completely fresh, new, and fun.
But first, let's watch the world premiere of Call of Duty Vanguard multiplayer.
Let's go, baby. I think, is this the trailer? I know there's a trailer released, so I'm assuming it's this.
Warriors, saboteurs, assassins, their lives turned upside
give me that
down
katana,
by the
yo.
right. Each one with an axe to grind, and when we turn them loose, you better believe they're coming out swinging.
On the neck, mate. Yo, hey, we got some music as well. My guy shoot through the wall. I saw that, man. Obviously, if you guys can't hear the music, it's been copyright claimed. So I've paused it, man. Apologies in advance.
Got it.
On your rear!
In the leg, yo. Oh, let's go. Oh my days, it is just carnage, bro. Come on. This is mad. Alright, so yeah, we've got some like destructive environments here.
Can't see the enemy!
Stims are back. Oh yes, boy! That is what we love. Love that, man. Give me that guitar. Sorry, what? Flamethrower, baby. Let's go. Dun, dun.
The team's been able to do, and we're thrilled to have that trailer out in the wild. Our multiplayer team is putting players in the shoes of a globally diverse cast.
We've focused on Special Forces operators that are untraditional, gritty anti-heroes from every front of the war. We've also focused on our down-the-barrel experience to bring you brute force weaponry that devastates your enemies and world around you.
Today, I have the pleasure of sitting down with some of my colleagues I haven't seen in over a year, and some folks that I've never met before in real life. Our conversations today will be broken down into 4 different sections. We're going to talk about our day 1 offering for multiplayer. We're going to go in-depth into gameplay. We're going to talk to our art directors about Vanguard's unique look and take on World War II. We're going to talk to our narrative team about how they brought our operators to life. And we have some special guests from Beanox and Raven. Plus, following the stream, we've
That's
invited
Warzone,
some
baby.
of your favorite creators
Come on.
to play Call of Duty Vanguard multiplayer, so stick around, we're just getting started.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Well, let's talk about some multiplayer.
Sounds good.
So we have 20 total maps in the game.
We do.
16 of them that are working with core, and they're across all locations, and they're Western Front, Eastern Front, North Africa,
Yep.
as well as the Pacific.
And then the 4 maps that comprise Champion Hill, which is Airstrip, Market, Courtyard, and Train Yard.
I do love how we have found this fresh approach to World War II. We really, really wanted this time to focus on a global warfare and variety of settings.
And when
I
you
love
think
a
about
bit
the
of
player
variety.
experience too, let's say you finish a match on Gavutu and you just came from the Pacific Theater, and then the next map that loads up is Desert Siege, and now you're in North Africa. So you're just hopping all over
Yeah,
the
yeah, that's
globe.
good.
So we just finished up Alpha. That was the first technical test of Vanguard. And starting today, you can preload for the beta, which has Champion Hill that everybody can now experience, as well as 4 new maps.
Yeah, that's what I'm super excited about. It's Core MP for the first time, so it's Red Star, Hotel Royale, Gavutu, and Eagle's Nest.
I cannot wait to see
map still looks
all
sick.
of those players in there.
And then we also have combat pacing. So you can now experience this huge range from tactical combat all the way up to blitz combat across those modes that are in the beta.
I love Nuketown, mate. Nuketown,
It's
shipment,
such a different experience
hijacked.
between when you're playing with blitz
Keep it small.
and tactical as well, because when you're playing blitz, it's just no holds barred, you're going. Tactical is a lower player count, so we're actually increasing the time to engagement in there, and every shot matters. You're able to play with it in the filter system, so within quick match play, you're able to
Oh,
be
that's
like,
cool.
oh, I prefer tactical.
Yeah, that's
Gonna
cool.
be
I
doing
like that.
blitz.
That
I
is
remember
quite sick.
When we were just first talking about it, the idea of making every map into shipment, I love that.
But
It's like
having
they're
a
listening
map
to me,
the
man.
size of Red Star feel like shipment if you're having that
is crazy
level
as
of
well,
combat
yeah.
That's
pacing
sick.
is what's really fun.
love
because
that.
it's different map by map.
It's so much fun to just go in and you're not even worried when you're getting killed because you just get killed and respawn and kill someone else constantly. It's,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
It doesn't end.
We also have Patrol coming in as well. It's a new mode for Vanguard.
It's really fun. I'm really excited to see how fans respond.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
It's essentially the moving hard point that's moving around the map on this track. You're going
Moving
and you're
hard
taking
point.
it, and as people
gonna
play
be
it
well
more
hard.
and more and discover new strategies around it, like there's play the patrol point, hold it down for your team, but that patrol point is moving no matter how many people from your team are on it. So if you're truly, playing as a team, you're going to have people
Yeah, you need a
behind
good
the
team.
patrol point in
You
front
can't be
of it,
going on there with
really
donuts.
locking down those lanes.
It won't
that
work.
mode is bringing so much more than we've ever had, and you're also exploring the entire map.
It's quite cool. Sounds unique, which I like.
Playing with other players in these maps, being able to go into, clans. They're coming into the game.
Ooh,
they're
clans are
a
back.
Tier 1
Let's
feature.
go.
You can pair up
I like
with your
that.
buddies and your friends.
We really want to lean into social play because it does make all of your experiences on those maps and modes just so much better.
Think about what you just said about Patrol too. Like if you played Patrol with your clan, how
You're
much more
gonna be
effective you
so
would
much
be
better.
if
Oh, yeah,
everybody was
absolutely.
coordinated taking the patrol point at the same time.
Yeah, you
and
need
actually
buddies for that.
progress
You can't
with
do
your
it with
clan.
randoms.
Like that's a new thing that we have in the game. It's pretty exciting and awesome. Like being able to have the 3 of us in a clan and go and be on progression.
And you can be in a clan together cross-gen as well.
That's right.
So we have a huge commitment to our
Good.
players around cross-gen, cross-platform play, where you can go and team up with really anybody who has the game.
It's exciting for me because now I can finally play with my cousin in Toronto who's a PC player, and I'm going to play on my PS4 at home.
I really loved it as well because we've invested quite a lot in our social features.
It really widens the scope of the social experience.
If you have a friend who's playing Call of Duty, you don't have to now ask them, oh, what are you playing on?
Right.
You can just be like, join my clan.
We're so excited to have Call of Duty Vanguard launch. The team has done a phenomenal job. I can't thank them enough for all of the effort they've put in. The most content day one. It's going to be great.
Man's got that Iron Man walk off.
We're here to talk about gameplay. So this is reactive environments, movement and footsteps.
Yeah, I noticed
create a
this in that
class,
trailer, yeah?
Weapons. It's all about creating a fun environment for the players to run around in. When we were thinking about it as a team, that feeling of pulling the trigger has to be awesome. And you need to be able to use it.
That could be dope, man.
Well. It's all about that player creativity.
When you first shoot something and it reacts to it, now you start becoming a little more creative about what you want to do with that.
Tactical sprint is in the game. We have it coming back, and you can just sprint through those walls as well.
We tried to give multiple
Juggernaut
options
style
for how you want to do things, which really allows for a lot of freedom.
That's right. When you're taking cover behind something, they can also flush you out. You start seeing this stuff just start getting shredded.
You can mount on top of these surfaces as well.
Oh, I'm glad they've got mounts still.
Like
I personally love mounting.
And
I
either
think it's
mounting
great.
on the side, mounting on the top, blind firing over the top.
So blind fire, like let's just talk about that for a second, because blind fire is an all new addition to Vanguard.
That is
it's
sick.
kind of the hip fire
That
of
is,
mount.
that's sick.
We actually have it set up where you can ADS and go into mount. So when you're near something, you're going to go into mount every time you do that. But if you're in cover behind it, your gun's going to come up, and now you're actually in this state where you know you can blind fire over it. You get a little peek over the piece of cover that you're on, and you're now able to move back and forth across that, fire. You get the hip fire spread, and then once you see somebody coming, you can actually go right back into mount and transition between the two. And it's
I like
so
it, man.
fluid.
I think that is
Feels
so
like
sick.
It was always
Real
supposed
talk.
to be there.
Yeah, that looks sick,
Destructible
man. I
environments
really
are
like that.
throughout the game. It's on every map, and it just changes the map over time.
That's right. Like the state that the map starts at is going to look different than the state that it ends at.
Everything
Yeah.
really changes, especially in different game modes when you have Dom and Hardpoint. And even with this idea of combat pacing around those structures, like we have tactical combat pacing where now destruction just matters so much more when there's a lower player count and it's so much more intimate. And then you go into something like Blitz, which is just crazy amounts of players in there, and
Just bullets
those maps
everywhere.
completely change based on how that combat pacing is flowing throughout every playlist that you're going into, and
I
those
think that's
modes
wicked.
even.
I'm liking this so far. This is a win. This is a big dub.
We have a caliber system as well, which interacts with these destructive environments.
Sick.
And so you're able to now go caliber up or caliber down within each weapon.
Yeah, sick.
The
Come on, man.
heavier the caliber,
Awesome.
the more it's going to change the look of the walls.
It's not just visual either. Increasing the caliber does increase the damage the bullet does. So we're kind of moving away from this concept of protecting rate of fire and damage. We're letting the players control it.
We have created
Just
class in the
the
game.
customization
and we're building on
is the
what
big one.
was done in Modern Warfare 2019.
You got your primary weapon, secondary weapon, 3 perks, lethals, and tacticals.
It's about choices and about the player having choices. Within Create a Class, there's so much going on in there. We have the gunsmith system coming back. We have caliber system, ammo types, 10 attachments as well that you can put on the gun.
10. Let's go. 10 attachments. I'm
The coolest
loving
thing
this.
about 10 attachments is that we were able to make it so that some of the attachments are much stronger than the other attachments. So you have a lot more options, kind of taking our 30-ish guns and bringing it all the way up to over 100 because you can tailor them to whatever you want them to be.
Hey, my guy said
And they're still
technically there's
familiar
100 guns.
with the perks, the 3 perk slots, and you can actually modify those and get some modifications around some of the other core gameplay pieces. And with these weapons and with this caliber system, there's so much in there to be able to use. We have certain perks that are dedicated to it.
Yeah, you might choose an LMG and then try to combine perks for close range to make it so much more like an SMG, but with that power and the ammo size that the LMGs are bringing.
This is
or
getting
you may go the completely
tasty.
other way. Lean into our new mounted movement system, so you can slide around the cover. You might equip it with piercing vision as one of your perks, your perk 2. That allows you to actually highlight people through walls that you've suppressed. Suppression is a new mechanic that slows people down.
And with that, like that is going to give us the most tactical experience you've ever had in Call of Duty.
Yeah, we're trying a lot of risky things, allowing players to tune things like damage or
I
rate
don't know about
of
that
fire,
suppression
but we're
thing.
committed
Need to see it,
figuring
like, in
out
real life.
the right values there, making a balanced game.
We really want to push the envelope, and we really want to bring players a version of Call of Duty, a flavor of it that they haven't tried before.
It is truly the most immersive Call of Duty experience I've ever played. And we're in this together. We're in it with the community. We're there getting feedback from them on all of these elements. And we want to make it the best for everyone.
That was a naughty one.
On this project, I feel like the collaboration between creative direction, design, and art, there's a lot more cohesion. And so we've grown together in such a way where we can have these great conversations.
It's about stepping out of our comfort zone a little bit. On the last project, we took on the Brotherhood of the Soldiers. It was a very traditional look at it. This game in Vanguard, it's a fresh look. We wanted something fresh, and we wanted to get into that anti-hero.
This time around, we kind of dug deeper and we tried to understand what the soldiers were going through. And it changes the way that they walk, it changes the way that they talk, even the way they would dress and how they would stand. It had to be somebody that was real and somebody that we felt that, like, I want to be that person. I want to play that person. I kind of see myself in that person. I think that was big too, right? Like.
So who's your favorite character?
When I saw Daniel Yatsu, I thought to myself, hey, you know what? I want to be that character because that character kind of feels like me, you know? And I think that's huge.
I just love that our game, we're taking a character-centric approach. You actually have a roster.
Yeah, you get to learn more about them.
That is good. Normally, you ain't really got many.
And they all have different looks as well, that have their personalities in them.
The character team has done a lot of great work to recreate, you know, all the materials and things like that.
A single player is going to be pretty big.
As the exact character, they scan it there, and then they virtualize the authentic gearing.
The same thing happens within the maps as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so we even have some maps that are actual spaces in the world.
We typically start with a block mesh of a map and try to figure out how we can get photogrammetry assets to match that block mesh. We tried it the other way around.
That is actually so sick. I love seeing stuff like that behind the scenes stuff.
Spatial relationships of the buildings and the road and the hedges.
You know, it feels like a real place. It also helps with the tone because when something feels more realistic, you take it more seriously. You know, and when you want to be immersed, you don't want to be pulled out by something that feels artificial.
And there's so many other things that we've done to this engine. Like, we've done a lot with foliage that's in our Pacific maps.
Just speaking of simple things like foliage, the way that the light hits the leaves and then like bleeds and then shines through makes it feel more realistic.
We've been using some new software techniques to
They
generate
put a lot of work in this
simulations
game, yo.
for really windy situations where the palm trees are colliding with each other, and it really makes the map have this energy to it.
All of those atmospherics, like the Battle of Berlin, Gavutu, like these maps have so much weather going on, and it's been exceptional to see it in the game.
Neo-epic lenses is something we're looking at game-wide. We want to add that new, fresh, badass on top of the epic setting.
And that's something that you developed.
Yeah, with the art team, we talked about what's the thing that's going to set us apart from the previous game that we made together. And so we talked a lot about the contemporary lens. And that's where the whole Neo aspect comes. Neo-noir, it's a new, evolved version of film noir movies. So epic is its own type of movie. We wanted to take cues from the great epics of the past and add a Neo rebirth to it. A lot of that has to do with composition of the landscape, the types of environments that we pick to play in, the palette, the color. A lot of it has to do with the tone.
The art team has done an amazing job.
That map is the one I want to play
team
straight
as a whole
away,
has done an amazing job making this look great.
With all the content that we had to do, we needed the rendering, we needed engineering, we needed the effects, the lighting, the whole team. We needed studio in Melbourne to get it looking super awesome in a way that we can deliver the best COD game we can do.
They keep teasing
We have
me with that
a cast of
katana,
characters.
man.
Those characters also come over into multiplayer.
We took the personalities from our campaign and brought them to the wild, exaggerated, crazy world of MP.
Sweet revenge!
We have 12 operators at launch, 6 in the beta, all from different walks of life.
What is bringing those characters together in campaign?
Captain Butcher, who's a returning character from Call of Duty World War II.
Captain
He's
Butcher,
back.
man.
He's got a much larger role now. We needed a character when we went to the Special Forces, the connective tissue, who was the guy who went around and found all these people to give birth to this new type of warfare. And he puts them together and he sends them into these incredibly dangerous situations.
Sometimes you need a job done. That's when you call the professionals.
So these special operation task forces that we have, the SOTFs, what are these?
That's the whole notion of multiplayer, is that this is Butcher forming these teams. You know, they do feel like ragtag people pulled from all over the world to form these awesome squads of elite soldiers.
So when you unlock one of these operators, you get that moment to learn more about their backstory. Melinda, do you have a favorite one of those?
I do. My favorite is for Solange, who is Dutch Aruban, and she was plucked from her everyday life and put into the war, and she did strategy. And I think what's interesting is with our characters, we also not only touch on people who fought on the front lines, we touch on people that fought at home or were taken and not primed for war. They were just normal people that wanted to live normal lives, and then the war happened and everything changed.
You can't change your past, but you can choose.
I need that voice, man.
Most of the time in multiplayer, you're selecting the character, you're in the game, you're in the action, running around.
We have a couple that are just like absolutely crazy, don't we? I think Paulina's really sinister, actually, and you get more of a look into her character.
Yeah, she looks like she ain't joking,
It's
man.
about immersion, about putting players in there. And these stories are just fantastic.
We wanted to champion a lot of the forgotten stories of the war, and a lot of them are female-led stories. There are a lot of women that had a part in the war, whether on the home fronts or on the battlefield.
We created so much lore around them and their backstory and who they were as people, and also we wanted them to feel like distinct pieces on their own.
As you're randomly assigned an operator when you start the game, you can now use that operator as much as you want. And then they have operator progression, which is a brand new thing where as you're leveling that operator, you're getting cosmetic rewards. They have charms that are based on their backstory, new cool animations that we use in the game for finishing moves and everything else that really immerse you in that experience. We don't have factions in multiplayer. It's Team A versus Team B. It is a very deliberate decision, but it's one that we found was for the best of the game. It allows players to be able to customize their character and how they want to play.
You know, once we made that
Yeah,
call,
'cause if they're
it was really important
setting
to
a
then
team-
really dig deep into
Yeah, I get you,
find
man.
all those different characters, because it was a global war and people were fighting their own battles in their own countries.
I do think, though, there's a lot of opportunities for people to learn about new perspectives and new angles on things that happened during that time period.
So a lot of diversity in our characters, not just in their race, but in their appearance, their gender, and all of that is explored more in MP.
They're all fictional characters grounded in World War II, but they are based on real people and real groups that did fight in the war. Another thing with campaign is the character you're playing as. We don't want them to talk too much to sort of allow the player to live the fantasy. So in multiplayer, we get to actually make them talk, and you can hear them talk more.
Didn't think I'd come back. That brings me back to life.
You had that coming.
It's multiplayer, it's still a game, but there's so much history there, there's so much depth and richness, and you've been able to bring all of this together into this story that is quite amazing.
Hey everyone, my name is
You know your boys on that PS5,
UI UX
man.
director at Beenox, and today I'm here representing Beenox, the lead PC developer for Call of Duty. And we are very excited to bring you Call of Duty Vanguard. Beenox has put together a dedicated and passionate team to push the quality of the PC version each and every year. We want the game to be tailored for our PC community by supporting both the latest hardware technology and also optimizing for the best performance. With Call of Duty Vanguard, you will get the greatest features and improvements that we have built over the years, such as the uncapped frame rate, the ultra-wide and the multi-monitor support, and also a lot of settings to fully customize your experience throughout the game. And about customization, we wanted our game to be even more accessible. We added options to reduce motion sickness, improve text readability, and we even added adaptive ease of use
Hey,
settings
again, man,
to
I'm
fit
about
your
that
gameplay.
PS5 life, baby.
We've
So
also done a ton of work to improve input latency. By using a high-speed camera, Combined with an Arduino board and an NVIDIA LDAT, it's a device that measures input to photon latency. We're able to identify opportunities to improve reaction time in terms of milliseconds. We have also reworked our auto-detect features. As you may know, we optimize all the graphics settings based on your hardware. But this time, you get to choose if you prefer to have the awesome visual experience.
Sounds like if you're on a
enjoy the
PC,
high
you got an
experience.
advantage.
Lastly,
That's it.
while waiting for your friends to jump into your party, or during a round transition, we added a setting that reduces the brightness of your other monitors to allow multitasking without missing any of the action. We have so much more to talk about in the upcoming months, and we can't wait for you to experience Call of Duty Vanguard on Battle.net. Now, I'll pass it to Raven to give you the latest intel on what's coming to Warzone this year.
This is the one.
I'm Amos
I'm
Hodge,
ready.
Associate
We're
Creative
ready.
Director at
Come
Raven
on.
Software. With the launch of Vanguard,
Big
we
man
want to ensure
Raven.
that the feel and character of the game extends beyond the multiplayer experience and into Call of Duty Warzone. I am pleased to announce that there is a brand new Warzone map coming this year, shortly after the launch of Vanguard, and we are going to the Pacific, featuring an entirely new play space, complete with all new points of interest. Players will get to traverse the lush landscapes of the island and make their way through a variety of extremely cool locations while battling it out alongside friends and foes. Our goal was to create a fresh, new experience for Call of Duty players by breaking out of the war-torn world of Verdansk to create an atmosphere that is vibrant, alive, and it really opens the doors to how we can craft the narratives and events.
I'm liking it.
As far as visuals and technology, Warzone Pacific will share the same tech and engine as Call of Duty Vanguard. This allows for seamless weapon integration and play balance. Fully optimized crossplay, cross-progression, and cross-gen support will be enabled so that you can play with your friends across different platforms and generations of consoles. But most importantly, we want to ensure that Warzone Pacific will be the best experience it can be. We will be launching with a multifaceted new anti-cheat system that will be rolled out when the new experience goes live later this year. We're putting it through the
Let's
final
go.
phases of
Anti-cheat.
testing,
Get
and
in
are
a bin,
excited to
you
have it
hackers,
ready
bro.
day one when the new Warzone experience releases. Our
Day
teams
one.
have worked hard on this and much more, and will continue to do so. We know how
Come
much
on.
it means to everyone. We will be continuing to offer a massive calendar of free post-launch content featuring new modes, playlists, limited time events, and seasonal events, as well as community celebrations and much more. We look forward to playing with all of you later this year when the Pacific officially comes online.
We sincerely
That was
appreciate
big.
you watching.
Big
but
way
there's
to
so
end.
much more for our
Huge way
fans
to
to
end.
experience from the beta through launch. The beta will be running over the next 2 weekends, and you can preload on PlayStation starting today. For your first look at live gameplay from Call of Duty Vanguard Core Multiplayer, tune in now to one of your favorite creators. From the entire development team around the world, thank you so much for joining us today. We can't wait to see you in the game.
That was big, man. That was a big boy event. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. That was disgustingly long, man. But for me, I'm excited, man. They just did a big boy flex. I mean, everything, for me, I enjoyed it. Real talk, man. I cannot wait for Vanguard. Now, the only thing I didn't really care about is the PC stuff. Only because I don't game on PC. If you do, more power to you, man. Big up you guys. The customization looks incredible, man. That was one of the most important things. I love small ass maps, and it looks like they're catering around pretty much anyone. Big win with the Warzone reveal, man. Let's go, baby. Call of Duty here to stay. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're excited for Vanguard, let me know down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Yo, if you made it to this point in the video, I love you guys, man. Big up. I'll see you in a bit.